Yo, we are live. Man, this set with you, man. We back with another one. Man, right now we got a real special one. This is Candace Owens meets Fresh and Fit.
Let's go.
Right, let's get right into it.
A rabbit hole. And what I mean is, at first, I would have never gone to like foxnews.com. Like, that was like the worst possible thing you could do as a black person. And then when I saw them lying about something, I watched a Trump speech live. It was in Dimondale, Michigan, where he made his pitch to black America. And he just started listing statistics and was like, you know, you've given your vote for 60 years Democrats. Michigan? Why not just do something?
I think so. Dimsdale. Something
else. And I was like,
shout out Fairly Odd
I'm not for this dude, but like, fair. And then I watched the media that I trusted interpret what he was saying, and they were like, he looked black Americans in the face, you know, Don Lemon, close to tears, you know, the whole bit, and told them they have nothing and they're poor, and we haven't heard this sort of racist rhetoric since. And I was like, whoa. It really made me go.
I feel like black people have always ostracized the black conservative or the black Republican.
Bro, low key.
Like, that's always been like a taboo in the black community.
Even though back in the day we were mainly conservative. Some reason we just turned liberal, and any nigga who just stayed behind the old days, we turned on them.
Like, that's always been an issue. You can't have opinion that differs from the majority thought.
Can't have opinion that differs from black Twitter.
The exact opposite is true, because that's pretty much how it happened. I basically just went flip. You do go through a period of cognitive dissonance. Like, you actually start to wonder if you're crazy. Like, oh my, how could this possibly, like, what do you mean the Democrats aren't here to rescue? What do you mean those racist Republicans could actually be trying to help? Like, that's a lot to go through emotionally. And it's going to immediately impact your relationships, right? Because you're coming from, all your friendships have this viewpoint, your family members have this viewpoint. So
yeah, I could say I went through the same thing. Like, majority of my family are liberals. And then growing up, like, all I was fed was the liberal ideology. I would never heard the opposite side of a Republican until, I would say, college. So think about that. Like, yeah, it's kind of like low-key fucking your world up when you hear that, oh, wait, hold on. So you told me all these liberal agendas, all these liberal ideas that I've been supporting, low-key been hurting me?
Right. And you got to imagine... To your point, you got to imagine the reason you thought like that is because you grew up in an environment where everybody thought like that. Your parents thought like that. Your siblings, friends, their parents. So when you grow up and you adapt any type of different ideology, yeah, of course you're going to have a rift between those same people you grew up with because they're on that other side of the fence.
Okay, let's get back.
To go through this period of cognitive dissonance, you have to first think you're crazy. Then I just wanted to read. And I picked up the coons. Like, I was like, well, you know, those people that I thought were coons, what were they saying, right? And I started reading Thomas Sowell. And he was a good first
Great
step.
Work.
Yeah, he was a good first step in terms of educating myself, because he's not overtly political, and he just made the economic arguments. And I read this book, and I was like, wait, I think I've been a conservative my whole life. I just didn't know it. Actually, I agree with everything that he's saying. This is what makes sense. I just want opportunity. I want to be able to climb a ladder.
Okay, that's how I felt when I started listening to conservatives. I'm like, hold on. Like, well, these niggas making sense though. It's like, all right, like, what's really going on? I'm finally listening to the people that everybody told me not to listen to, expecting them to sound outlandish, expecting them to sound like crazy. And
you identify with half of this shit?
You know, bro, I'm identifying with 90% of this shit. I'm like, hold on, now my side looking real crazy. And then you start doing your own research, and you start realizing that the side you was on the whole time was just all mental manipulation.
Anytime somebody tells you not to listen to another side of the truth or another side of information, that person is trying to keep you from something.
On God. Hey, if they tell you not to listen to somebody, listen to them.
Yeah, on God.
And so I went through a year and a half of just reading to make sure that I understood what I felt was true. And then I was angry, right? Because then I realized how sinister, how evil,
What pill do you call that when somebody converts political affiliation?
Man, I can't even think really it's a pill. I think it's a change in ideology at a certain point.
It's got to be a pill.
Well, but no. Remember, because you're right. Because going blue pill from red pill is like changing your ideology on women and all that. Good stuff.
I mean, I guess you could say she damn near just went red pill.
Yeah, you could say, yeah, she went red pill. Pretty much. She went truth.
Yeah, okay. Gotcha.
manipulative, how Machiavellian. I mean, really, the public school system for Black Americans is just a pipeline to the prison system. And I was like, I am going to now be the loudest voice against this. And I understood, obviously, the bullets and the arrows that I was going to have to take, but it motivated me to action. And I just was like, I'm going to start my own YouTube channel, and I'm going to start saying stuff that people need to hear for the first time.
I can see that you take things into a different
Candace, man.
Hey, man, that's how niggas start, though.
For real. So she started on YouTube?
Yep, started on YouTube and went from there. And then blew up, like, low-key, blew up on Twitter and all that.
perspective. You said this question, why? Why is this happening? What's going on in the background? Let me ask you this, though. What about free speech? Is there really free speech nowadays? What do you think?
No, I mean, obviously not. It's even speech. The consequences that people suffer. So they've kind of gotten around speech. And if they don't like what you're saying, or if they want to control or manipulate what you're saying, they will smear you and libel you. And so people then will not say something, even if they know it's true, or even if it's how they actually feel, because there is this consequence of, organizations like the ADL that exists. Literally, they're not anti-defamation. They are doing the defamation, right? But we're going to call ourselves anti-defamation, but
look how they did Kyrie.
we're actually the ones that are defaming. And by the way, everybody, if you want to get educated on the history of the ADL, they literally existed as an arm of a gang, right? Like, to start calling people anti-Semites when they started looking into gang activities in
political dogs.
Yep, I did make that argument earlier in one of my lives. I was going like, yeah, so how could we even hold anybody accountable on that side if, as soon as we hold one of them, like we sort one of them out and be like, okay, yeah, this guy here in y'all group is on BS. Oh, well,
you immediately get that label.
Yeah, you mean, oh, well, now the whole group, or you're assaulting the whole group. Well, just because this guy's part of that group and he's doing BS, like, just because I call it out, why do I now hate his whole group? Like, that makes no sense.
Everybody's went down that same avenue with that too. Anytime any celebrity or anybody's called out one of them, that's happened. We've seen it time and time again.
Yeah.
New York, so they can miss me.
Protect someone that assaulted a child.
Yeah,
That's why it was originally created.
Absolutely, and you can miss me entirely. And they're still trying to blame it on a black man. Unbelievably wealthy man who raped, sexually assaulted and killed a 13-year-old, and they're still trying to blame it on a black man, as if Atlanta, Georgia, would have not gladly hung a black man for the crime if he had done it. But so now you have these sorts of organizations that are doing this kind of bullying tactic, which is why I was dragging someone on Twitter for the last 24 hours who's been trying to thug life, like threaten me into speech, like, to compel me to say things I don't believe or to shut up if I do believe them. And so, no, we
know
don't.
Who he is. Fuck that guy.
Yeah, he's a horrible human being.
Yeah, it's this one rabbi Shmuley or whatever, and it's crazy. It's the same rabbi that Michael Jackson listed on his hate list.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that was conveniently all them boys.
He said, I hate this one specifically.
But yeah, he had a list of them he hated specifically.
Oh, man.
Being horrible, backwards human being, definitively racist. There's no question about it. But yeah, so it's speech with consequences. And they go, oh, you still have free speech, but we're going to run this whole arm of people that are going to assassinate your character if you don't say the right things. And I'm not with that at all.
Well said.
You mentioned something, and I didn't want to stop you when you were speaking. You said that the public school system
pipeline to prison.
Pipelines black people to black children to prison.
Everything about it, the bell system to dismiss you, raising your hand to use the restroom, classes, limited recess time or time outside.
And it's crazy. Like, as I got older, it did get more authoritarian. I mean, like, there was a time when the teacher said, oh, no, just get up if you got to go to the bathroom, go. Then it turned from that to, oh, no, you don't leave until I tell you to.
You need a bathroom pass.
Bro,
a hall pass.
Bro, I remember getting in trouble so much when I'm just like, oh, I just get up. I'm like, well, how come in kindergarten, I was just told to get up. Kindergarten, first grade, I'm told to get up. Now, all of a sudden, third and fourth, y'all tell me I can't go unless you tell me? It's like, bro, I literally just looked them dead in the eyes and like, yeah, I'm out. Ryan actually shit.
It's to teach you to literally be controlled. Honestly, easily controlled.
I definitely got my ass in trouble over just them trying to control.
What component of the public school system do you think is the most damaging that leads to that?
So this is really important, and I'm glad you asked me this question. So currently right now in America, 40% of students can't pass a basic literacy exam, exam. Within inner city communities, that's 70%.
That's true, because the Catholic.
Nah, I remember there was
Whoa.
a crazy statistic, that came out when I was taking OGTs that said saying majority of y'all felt reading. Well, yes, majority of my high school felt reading. The reading OGT, that shit was crazy. And that's the Ohio graduation test, because we out here in Ohio repping.
Exam. I don't know if did you take that when you were in Connecticut?
Oh, yes, I did.
Your basic standardized test. It ain't nothing special.
Bro, it's a test you need to do to be able to graduate.
Oh God, we ain't talking about no Harvard entry exam.
We're not talking the ACT. We're not even talking the SAT.
We're talking basic line math, reading, science, and what else?
Bro, what was this? Social studies?
Social studies, yeah.
And niggas felt reading.
Oh my God. Man, that's sad.
Yeah.
Sad as fuck.
Half my class failed it.
Okay. So they can't pass a basic literacy exam.
Yeah.
So they created the public education system for that very reason, to slowly dumb people down, right? And the reason why you want to dumb people down, the reason why you want to reverse education, it's actually the Department of Non-Education, is because educated minds can be enslaved. It's the reason why we had slave codes. It's the reason why they were not allowed legally to teach black people how to read when they were slaves, right? And that was such a severe law.
She going off.
Yeah, because they got to keep you from knowledge.
She going off.
And if you were a white person in America and you were caught teaching a slave how to read, they punished you too, right? And so the design of how to enslave people, how it works, how you can do that, has already existed. Now they're just modernizing it, right? And so they're giving you a fake education. Actually, what they're doing is they're emotionally engineering you, which is why we talk about believing in you're a victim, all this stuff. Because then whenever they want to press a button and get you to go after somebody, white man, rich man, you'll do it. Because you're not educated about why you're in that circumstance. You don't understand how economics works.
Yeah, low key, they got us going out hating on the rich people. If you're rich, you're evil and all this. And it's damn near it kind of kills your ambition.
All rich people are inherently evil,
Bro.
blah, blah.
Yeah, I low key remember.
Not understanding they're in a system that they don't even know the dynamics of.
Bro, I low key remember thought being rich was an evil thing. And all of a sudden I'm going well, damn, I want to be rich. Am I evil?
Yep, I was told to amass a certain amount of wealth, you have had to done some evil.
Man, hey, that's that Charleston White, but that's past $1 billion, I guess.
I guess.
It's
right?
divisive.
Yeah, you don't understand economics works. All you understand is you have no money and he has money,
Then again,
right?
niggas sell
And
out
so
for
when they say,
100K.
"Oh, go out and do our bidding and scream," you don't even know who is controlling your plantation. You don't even understand who the plantation supervisor is. You're just warring. You're a bunch of slaves that are warring.
You guys live in.
And the other
find the
reason is to
police.
slowly erase history. It is stunning to me how little we know about history, how little Americans know, how little Christians know about their history. I mean, once you
Jeez,
become awake
man,
to
she's not
everything, you
lying.
realize that actually what's happening is just holy wars. Holy wars. Everything.
I do think the average person is a dumbass. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, me neither, bro. I ain't gonna-
Probably can't name all 50 states. Probably don't know the capital of their own state.
Boy, can't name 3 countries.
Man.
It's bro, you remember, bro? They'd ask girls simple ass questions. Ask people simple ass questions.
How to spell the states.
Bruh. Oh, God forbid. God forbid.
I think that one of those was saying the alphabet backwards. People couldn't even do it.
Yeah, nah, bro.
Like,
And it's not even the police asking when you're drunk.
bro, like,
It's
the
just
average person, I swear, low IQ.
Bro,
Low IQ.
Low IQ.
And you're dealing with them.
On an everyday
These are your
basis.
neighbors. These are your coworkers. Yeah, you deal with them on the daily.
Yeah, they're easily manipulated.
And they
actually
out here
really does trace right back
commingling
to
with us.
religion
Yeah.
and the battle for earth. But that is another reason. It's because then they can edit history or no history. You're living in ever present. You're just in an ever present. You have no idea what's happened and how you
Candace, you
got
are
here.
beautiful and
Black
intelligent.
Americans
Everything I
thinking
want in a black
LBJ
man.
is a
Do you
hero.
have a sister?
Validly racist man. Well, they own the textbooks. He who can print the textbooks is king. Right? This is what happened to you. This is what happened during World War I. This is what happened during World War II. This is the bad guy. This is the good guy. It's all you need to remember. LBJ signed the Civil Rights Act. That is true.
Lyndon B. Johnson, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also completely out of context. He, the decades in the Senate, voted against every single measure that would have given blacks any freedom. He was an avowed racist. He said, I will have those N words, hard R, voting Democrat for the next 200 years. He signed the Great Society Act along with it.
And y'all did it. Oh, yeah, we all did. We did it in lockstep. Understand it was a white man's plan for you to be liberal. Ain't that crazy? The white man plan was for you to be liberal, and we just all went along.
To enslave black Americans to the Democrat plantation. And he was forced to sign the Civil Rights Act because of the America was just on fire. JFK had just died. There was riots. There was protesting. Too much was happening. And they were like, this you have to get done. He did it begrudgingly. But they don't tell you any of that. They just say, he signed it, right?
So pressure was put on him by American legislators. And ultimately, he was forced to make a decision, like almost how Lincoln was when he freed the slaves.
Yeah, it was like to keep the Union together. Like, bro, we got to free the slaves to keep the Union together. So, everybody like, bro, do we really got to free the slaves? And
so
Lincoln's
these heroes
like,
in y'all history books, these heroes in y'all history books, these
over-glorified.
Ah, man.
And not accurately depicted, or ideas weren't accurately depicted. Because, hey, Lincoln was a devout racist.
Fuck that. These are straight up lies.
Yeah, but they tell you something different in school, so, you don't, I guess, get triggered. Because think about it, we all heard our damn Lincoln
and
was
they
racist.
tell you that, and they make you answer that on the test, and if you put anything else, you're wrong. So they drill it, ingrain it in your brain.
Bro.
Program it.
If they taught us about Lyndon B. Johnson, when he was saying, bro, like, there would be no Democratic Party really to stand on. It'd be like, bro, well, yeah, we're not gonna go with y'all. We heard what Lyndon B. Johnson said, bro. We're going conservative.
Just like they tell you about, I don't know, Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, but they don't tell you about the CIA initiatives like COINTELPRO that was used to dismantle and ultimately kill him.
Yeah, but it's crazy though. We also don't talk about the horror stories of the Bushes. So I think that's what kind of turned a lot of people off towards conservatism at a certain point.
That's true. Their whole story, their whole history, his story.
Yeah.
It's the story they wanted to tell, really.
Nah, facts.
Actually, forced a bunch of military people on the U.S.'s Liberty to sign a non-disclosure, not talk about them being attacked by a certain place.
He also, I just learned this actually over the PBD podcast, intentionally drafted black men to Vietnam. And so he just was so racist. And yet black Americans think, yay, that's when we got our freedom. Nope, that's actually when we were enslaved, re-enslaved.
He wanted Kennedy dead. They never got along either.
Yeah.
He didn't like Robert F. Kennedy either.
Wow.
See, and this is the thing, like, no one talks about this stuff in history books whatsoever. No one knows
Not
this
in
stuff.
school, at least.
But hell no. They would never tell you this about Lincoln.
Nobody knows that inside government beef. Yeah, we don't like to talk about that because then when things pop off, you might connect them like, hold on. You telling me Lyndon B. Johnson ain't like Kennedy, and he also didn't like things Kennedy was standing on. All of a sudden, Kennedy ended up dead? Like, yeah, that's some shit going on right there. Like, yeah, y'all gonna have to explain that to me a little better.
Lyndon B. Johnson, but they...
We just don't know who shot JFK.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Oh, man.
Candace knows what's up, man.
Candace knows what's the violence, man.
JFK was like, I'm going to shatter the CIA and throw him into the wind, and then he ends up dead, and you're like, I don't know. The CIA just doesn't know who did it. I don't know.
Damn, they fucking know.
Yeah. So all of a sudden, the guy that wanted to get rid of you guys gets taken out. And now, oh yeah, we don't know what happened. It's like, but shit, couldn't have been us. I'm like, oh really? Okay, oh that's real suspicious.
I know.
Alan Dulles, the original CIA director, didn't like Kennedy. Kennedy had a lot of enemies.
Yeah,
we need a Rumble only episode with Candace. Go really deep into this, man. You can't see it on YouTube, but man, so it's funny.
I say it on my show, and I'm on YouTube. I mean, I just don't care. I mean, these people are criminals. It's a criminal enterprise. It's running the country, and they're using tactics of blackmail. Everyone can see it now. I mean, the Diddy lawsuit, the Jeffrey Epstein stuff. It's all the same. This is how they've been able to control people. Did you guys read through that Diddy lawsuit?
Yeah. I want to get your thoughts. I know you've deep. We've been looking at it. I know you've been deep doing a deep dive.
Everyone's attacking Diddy from all fronts, literally.
Yeah,
like
crazy. What's your thoughts?
I mean, what are your
Conspiracy?
thoughts? I mean, if the person, like, listen, anybody can file a lawsuit and it can be frivolous. With the
But all right, yeah, they was about to get into the Me Too situation a little bit. Let's go ahead and skip ahead.
All right.
To some real hot topics right here. I kind of like this one right here.
Let's get into it.
for you to realize how brilliant they are and what they actually brought to you. And it shouldn't happen like that. We should be able to respect these people when they're alive and not like in the legacy where it's like, oh, it was so great. I know we all like jumped on the person and called them this and canceled them and did all that. But now in the retrospect, we really loved that person,
Michael Jackson.
Cancel culture.
Michael Jackson. That's what they did to Michael. Like, think about, think about all the hate he was receiving while he was alive. Mm-hmm. But nobody really cherished that man until he died.
Gave him his flowers after he could smell them.
Bro, that shit was crazy to me. I'm just like, all right, well, who's joking all in?
Now, don't get me wrong. He was beloved at a certain point, but when those accusations came out against him, they tarnished him. They tarnished his reputation.
Couldn't tarnish the music, though.
Yeah, honestly, he still had hits. Kind of like a certain singer.
Chris Brown.
I was thinking of R. Kelly.
Hey, both of them got bangers, man. Fuck you talking about.
I ain't gonna lie.
Predicted a lot of things that he was right about. People talk shit, and he was right about a lot of things. Because they'll say, they might say, that's anti-Semitic, or we don't like this, we're racist, or some other bullshit. But it's like,
Michael Jackson.
Was he wrong?
I'll say this, man.
I'll wait.
Well, hold on. Number one, what? Vultures.
I wondered who started and funded the trial and made those accusations against Michael Jackson. I wonder who was behind that. I wonder what was the engine behind that.
Well, the same list of people who he had hidden. Like, this dude literally had a list of people in the music
It would take a lot of money to create a narrative of Michael. I mean, the singer had the magnitude of the singer he was.
Yeah, but here's the problem though. Like, Michael,
biggest artist in the world,
kind of put himself there, even though we all know Michael Jackson didn't do it.
Right.
But here's the problem though. How did they do it though? Because, like, think about it like this. He went to court, beat the case, and somehow he got the results as if he lost it.
Right.
Without the jail time.
I mean, essentially, when you lose the
public opinion.
Yeah,
the court of public opinion is a motherfucker.
Yeah. You're just high off his goddamn ass.
Bro, dude was talking about, bro, I can't breathe standing up.
High off his goddamn ass. If you watch the body cam footage, he was already tweaking out before they even took him outside and wrestled with him and brought him to the ground.
Hey, here's another thing they don't know. He asked to be put on the ground. Bro, put me on the ground. He literally said, put him on the ground.
He was asking, begging hysterically before they even wrestled with him and put him on the ground.
Bro, they try to put him in the car, and he's like, I can't breathe
I can't. Please don't. Please don't. Bro, watch the actual body cam footage. He was making the clear gestures and motions. If you ever been around or seen a crackhead in the hood, man, he was acting just like one, bro.
And then they were trying to downplay the contents of fentanyl. Well, the amount of fentanyl in his system. It was crazy. They were trying to say, it was nano. I'm like,
less than a gram kills. Less than a gram kills.
Bro, that's what I'm saying. But
like less than a 0.1.
But they were trying to pull it. Well, that wasn't enough. I'm like, bro, niggas done died off less of what George Floyd had in his system.
It was the narrative completely painted.
There's just no way to look at that. You can be upset about that fact all you want, but at the end of the day, this is a man, and his story should have been a conversation about what led to his addictions, right? Maybe we would have looked back on Big Pharma. Who knows? Maybe it started with him taking pills for pain, and it ended up the story of a man who then became heavily addicted to fentanyl, whatever it is, right? And talking about addiction is always going to be a compassionate story, I think. And that's why I had to actually check myself after doing the documentary. I actually am glad I sat down with his roommates because I felt bad for him in that way because he didn't ask to be turned into a martyr. Yeah. He never said, I'm a good man living my life well and let my death mean something.
100%.
Right? The media did that. So he was a man that suffered from addiction. He died.
And shout out Candace because Black Lives Matter raised all that money, had
mil.
all that fundraising, didn't
mil.
give any back to the community, didn't help George Floyd's roommates
or
with
family,
rent, any of the past due bills because this man is now deceased.
Do you want to know the sickness of it?
Shout out Candace because she pulled up real nigga and handled that shit.
But look, not only did Black Lives Matter not even pay his family, instead George Floyd's family tried to get that shit out of Kanye. Because Kanye exposed it, and because they couldn't just go after Candace, they said, well, everybody's going after Kanye, and every legal battle against Kanye's being won, so maybe we can get some money.
Yep.
But since we couldn't get it off the people we're supposed to get it from.
His addiction, his whole life is a story of addiction. He was not a good person. He committed crimes probably just to get money. Career criminal.
All over Texas, Minnesota.
Traumatizing Black and Hispanic people that you claim to care about. These were his victims.
Put a gun to a pregnant woman's stomach.
He literally put a gun.
Passed a counterfeit bill before he was apprehended by the police in the first place. Like no one ever talked about.
Bro, my nigga had a life of
career
crime.
criminal.
Bro,
career
to the very
criminal.
End, he had a life of crime.
Bro, they pulled up on him for trying to pass counterfeit money.
Bruh.
That's why they were called.
It had
the
a record
police
in
were called on this man.
In 2 different states had a record.
All the things that led up to what happened.
Right. They're just pretending and then not showing the other angle, which you can see Derek Chauvin actually from the front. It looks like he's on his neck, but actually, and police are taught that to put their knee there once he was on the ground. And so, you could say that, oh, well, once you said I can't breathe, why didn't you move your knee?
Across your upper
he was
traps,
saying I can't breathe from the second they pulled him over when you see the full thing. And they were just like, dude, what? I can't, I'm claustrophobic. I can't be in the car. I can't breathe, And so it wasn't like they just thought he was BSing, likely is what happened, that he was just BSing.
Not only that, but if you're able to scream, that means you're able to breathe.
Right. And so here's the thing. Yeah, quite literally, when you take fentanyl, do you know what it does?
Yeah.
It stops you from breathing.
Yeah.
The media saw
the drugs he took worked, and it's a tough conversation to have. I get it, but
He was on those drugs. He was in a hyper situation. The man literally hyper asphyxiated and
Bro,
died.
he was on a cocktail. He was on a cocktail with fentanyl. So there was many other drugs in there that Loki just amped up the fentanyl. And yeah, his heart couldn't take it. And listen, we're talking about an older man damn near necessarily taking something like crazier than cocaine.
And let's be honest, those drugs could have killed him at any fucking point in his life.
Bro. He been riding dirty the whole
drug
time.
Drug abuser. Man. And now he gets in a situation that he's put himself in by trying to pass off counterfeit money after living as a career criminal. And it just so happened that this is a situation he dies in. Yeah, it's unfortunate as hell. Nobody's saying George Floyd needed to die. Nobody's saying police brutality doesn't exist. Nobody's saying Black Lives Matter is not a movement that should be supported. Not the organization, but Black Lives Matter as a movement. But this man ultimately led a life that played into the role of his death. It's as simple as that.
But I will not accept turning somebody into a martyr who led a life of criminality, and then also at the same, I mean, you had little black girls, little black boys wearing his face, a criminal. They were baptizing people in the square.
What?
Yes, they were. You don't remember how crazy it was. They literally tried to make his name synonymous with Jesus Christ. When you go to that square when that went down, there's like a billboard, and they've basically put angel wings on him. I mean, it's nuts what they did to a career criminal, but that's what they want. They want Black Americans to believe and to defend the people in our community that are doing the worst. That's why it's a racist system in that regard, right? When you are
defend the people in the Black community that do the worst. Oh my goodness, man, bro, we do it in the music, we do it in the entertainment industry, bro. It's just all over. We do it in real life, bro. We glorify terrible behavior, we glorify terrible character, but then we call the niggas who do right corny, or we call the women who do right pick-me's. It's like, bro, so being a good person with great character is just not a popular thing or not cool in the Black community. And at that point, you just want to be like, yeah, I'm up out of here. It's like, I'll see y'all.
Again, it's the same argument as when you switch political sides in the Black community. You're looked at as weird. You're ostracized.
Uncle Tom, bootlicker, coon. Oh yeah, and fuck y'all for that, man. I wish y'all say that shit to my face.
Just go on the internet and look how they about to be talking about Candace or shit us for supporting her.
Or saying to Black Americans, aspire to be filth, right? Aspire to be the next sexy red, the next this person, and simultaneously saying these are your new idols. These are your new Jesus Christ. This is the new Jesus Christ. It sickened me, and it still makes me so angry to look back on it and the people that fed Black Americans that garbage.
I've always said, people, they give me the same term, oh, you're a coon, blah, blah. They say the same thing to me, because I've always said, Black Lives Matter is a terrorist organization.
It is.
I used to work in law enforcement. One of the things we investigated was terrorism. And by definition, using violence or, trying to coerce people from a violent perspective for a political ideology is terrorism. And BLM is a domestic terrorist organization every way you slice.
Yeah, just like Taliban and ISIS. Yeah, BLM was pretty much on a liberal ideology, was pretty much enticed to go out there and pretty much cause violence.
Pose the threat.
Yeah.
Impose the threat. That is the definition of a terrorist
think about it. They was
organization.
flipping police cars, attacking
Setting
police.
buildings on fire.
Bro,
what do you mean, dog?
looting, doing wild shit. That's the terrorist group. Because just like how ISIS turned up and started bombing places, start kidnapping people. Hey.
And they don't tell you about the people injured during counter protests, because there was people out there who weren't on the side of Black Lives Matter. And what do you think Black Lives Matter protesters were doing? They don't tell you about those. They don't tell you about those people actually injured out there.
And they'll tell you the business that they destroyed, small businesses that they destroyed.
Had nothing to do with anything.
Bro,
these are mom and pop shops. These are your local restaurants and shoe stores that they just got caught up as a casualty.
All under a pandemic. It was crazy.
I said, if you want to go in and call the KKK and use white supremacy groups, domestic terrorist groups, then you got to call BLM too. But they're so scared. The FBI is so scared to label them as a domestic terrorist organization. It's crazy because they don't want to deal with the backlash.
No, I don't believe that. I think actually.
Disclaimer: the pandemic was real. COVID is real.
Very
and everything,
real.
And all the vaccines work. Wink, wink.
The FBI uses it as an operation. Like
Probably.
they support it because it's their op. You know what I mean? Like you think it's just like overnight, every single news channel was suddenly interested in this arrest. Like come on, it was a total op. It was so obviously an op. They were suppressing, trying to find out any real information on the case, not releasing the body cam footage. I mean, everything that happened shows you that the government was
different
complicit.
Corners doing the autopsy.
Yeah,
that was
yeah.
weird.
The government was complicit in
like 3 different corners doing the autopsy. One said no, he died from drugs.
And selected corners.
Bro, and all of a sudden it took 2 niggas. And then by the last one, it was like, okay, yeah, strangulation. One of them got that order like, yeah, bro, just say strangulation. So
we need you to say strangulation.
Yeah, we trying to sell a story here, okay? But the first one was like, oh yeah, drugs. What else could it be?
It was like, nah, fire his ass.
Bro, and the craziest thing is, like, if you ask the first guy, there was no strangulation marks. There was no marks on my man's neck, nothing.
In the narrative, and they wanted that disruption because it helped to foster an environment in which they thought, well, now no black person is going to support Trump. I mean, there was so much going on. You know, we were in an election season, and so
lockdowns. Lockdowns
yes.
were right. It was funny because they were like,
Then they were
all
like,
right, guys, sit in your house, masks on, 6 feet apart, etc. George Floyd dies. This is in May. Everyone's riding in the streets.
Yeah. They literally were creating laws that were like,
It's allowed.
they were carving out exceptions. If you're black and you want to riot and loot your own community down and burn it down, it's allowed. We must have this exception.
And
so, it was an insane time. And where did all that money go? Which I kept asking, where do you guys think this money's going? You think it's going to go into black communities? Don't be so stupid.
BLM.
They went to trans organizations.
So
Trans and LGBTQ organizations.
Oh, and they also splurged and brought real estate and luxury cars with that shit.
Yeah,
as well.
you know, and paid out baby daddies.
Yeah.
Wow.
With y'all money y'all supported and donated.
And donated, like, well, dumbasses. But, you know, not everybody was able to see through the facade.
But Black Lives Matter, though.
Yeah, Black Lives Matter. It do, but not the organization.
So in the documentary, and I don't want to give it away, you guys need to really go watch it, but you go over where that money was spent.
Wild.
Can you talk a little bit about that?
Guys, LGBTQ trans neighborhood, first ever trans neighborhood that we're building in San Francisco. You know, these trans center for arts. Poll Black Americans. You want to talk about, like, the community that would not be supporting all of this, the number one community that would be against all of this LGBTQIA plus nonsense, it's going to be Black Americans. We're very conservative on this issue, right? Yeah. And yet that's where, for the cost of you rioting and looting your own communities, not only do you now have to live in these criminally rotten communities, but also we funneled your money to LGBTQ IA plus organizations that all spawned overnight. So, you know, it's just a money laundering operation, obviously.
Not only that, they bought themselves, I always make the joke, buy lavish mansions. They bought like mansions, like, because the heads of the BLM are, if I'm not mistaken, 2 or 3 lesbian women.
One, I think
real
one
estate
turned
and luxury
to
cars with y'all's money.
But they bought some mansions.
Yeah.
Buy lavish mansions.
One in Canada. I mean, it's just unbelievable.
And shout out to Candace for pulling up to one of the mansions.
And if you want a reason that black people should be rioting, it's because of that. But, you know.
And it's crazy because I actually knew someone that lived in Minnesota at that time, and I think they ate something and they were like allergic, and they called 911. Yeah. The police couldn't even come. They almost died because they're like, sorry, I can't come out there, like, because they said defund the police. Mm-hmm. So they had to cut 911 staff, they had to cut police officers, and they almost died.
I'll tell you what. Definition of.
That's scary.
Well, they actually did it in some states.
In Minnesota, where the shit happened at.
Minnesota's probably liberal as hell. Any liberal state there, they probably actually did defund the
Minnesota
police.
Liberal
Stupid
as
shit.
Fuck.
But then again, look at all the liberal states. Look at how all the crime is rising in blue states.
New York, Cali,
Illinois. Oh man,
that's tough.
And then crazy, you know, it's crazy.
And everybody's migrating to Texas, Florida.
And you want to know what's even crazier? So Utah. Atlanta is a mostly red state, but the most toxic cesspool in Atlanta is Democratic. And we well, my bad. In Georgia, the most toxic cesspool in Georgia is Democratic. What you think that is?
Atlanta, of course.
Yeah, of course.
Of course.
We should never give niggas money.
We filmed it. It took about, I moved quick, so we were like just maybe like 4 to 5 months to film it. You guys
did it in the winter too.
Yeah, and I was freaking pregnant, which is why that Patrice thing was so funny when she pretended like I was attacking her outside. I was 8 months pregnant. It's like, you're not getting attacked by anyone. And the reception was great. You know, I do think, like I said, with time, the scale kind of falls from people's eyes. BLM, the organization, blocked me, of course, because once you start looking into where the money is. But Black people were receptive to it once they saw it, and it was being shared on a lot of the like highly.
Some Black people, some. There's a lot of Black people, like I said, who look at that shit and be like, just because Candace Owens, they don't want to hear it. You feel me? Them pretty much believing the whole George Floyd thing is them to become part of their identity.
It tainted anything, the view of Candace Owens. Anything she says is discarded just because of
misinformation.
Yeah.
Traversed Black blogs that are on Instagram, and they were pretty outraged. And now you can see people are saying, yeah, Candace was right. She told us about this. She told us about this. You can see that the Black community has moved a lot from when I first appeared on the scene to now. And I'm really grateful for that, you know?
Well, slowly people are waking up. And I think that's America as a whole. They're starting to see, like, you know, fake news, mainstream media lies about a bunch of stuff. A bunch of things that we were told are not true as they try to say they are. History has been rewritten by the winners a bunch of times. Like people are kind of like getting an alternative look, and thanks to platforms like Rumble, etc. Like people are able to do that. So and X, right, being with Elon, kind of getting rid of all the censorship. You were gonna say something?
How do you handle hate? I think a lot of people, like for example, we had some girls coming on the show like later on today, and I asked them, "Candace is coming. What are your thoughts?" Half said, she's talking the truth. I like her a lot. I said, we hate Candace. How do you deal with hate?
I just don't deal with it. I think people have me mixed up. I just told you, I listened to Power on repeat for like way too long, right? So if you want to get into my head, you should listen to Power, right? If you think I'm spending time reading comments about how much you hate me, my life is great.
Thank you.
Amazing. I am saying what I actually believe to be true. People are responding to that. I have a husband who loves me, children who love.
Bro, she has a husband who's a multi-millionaire, who's a 6-foot multi-millionaire.
They have a family,
3 kids,
a successful life.
Man, and boy, she don't pay no bills, and she making money. Man, bro,
they got generational wealth.
Y'all really hating, bro. Women really hating on Candace. Let's keep it a buck.
For no reason, because
bro, let's be real. She got everything they got.
I'm about to say
everything they want, plus a family.
They would want her position.
Like, think about
that.
They
envy her, really.
Bro, think about that. A good career, a good family, and all while being married with a good husband. The whole 6 foot and 6 figures. Well, actually, wait, hold on. He's a millionaire because he owns the social media company.
I ain't gonna lie, Candace starting to look like the archetype y'all bitches is aiming for.
Yeah, because Cardi B couldn't do it. Nicki Minaj couldn't do it.
These y'all idols, though. Is this your God?
I guess so.
Love me. They're really cute. Like, not that it'd be different if they were.
Somebody to turn against somebody who actually helped them. Like, that doctor could have helped her with some shit. And all of a sudden you're telling her to go against the doctor that helped you.
Or she just knew him to be an upstanding man. He don't deserve that.
Yeah, low key.
I know what you did. And I don't respect it. I don't respect it.
I would be mad too. I'd be like, bro, why are you trying to lock?
He can lose his license like that. Like, if anything, he just lose his license and credibility. This man can have no career after this.
Yeah, like, man, do you know if this man loses his job, that's his family? Like,
that's his whole livelihood.
Like, sweetheart, you could stop singing today and you'll be good for the rest of your life.
Over what? Because you salty about your contract?
Man, bitch, fuck you.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Once a man's reputation is ruined in that capacity, if he's quietly winning in the court, but nobody's covering it. Nobody is covering it with the same
hard.
Can I bring up somebody else that we all know very well? Andrew Tate.
Dude, I just want to say again, she said she brushed her teeth with a bottle of Jack.
Yeah. Didn't say that in the fucking song.
You already know she on some whole shit for that
also
one.
under Diddy, by the way, as well.
Wake up in the morning feeling like P. Diddy.
Coincidence?
Why were you feeling like P. Diddy? Me as a lawyer. Why were you feeling like
P. About partying hard. That song's about partying hard. Tonight we're going hard. Hard. Yeah, that's like, come on, man.
I have questions.
What's going on, man?
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, it's fine. I just think as men, especially with influence in a platform, we could at any moment be under this same issue. And Andrew Tate, good friend of ours, awesome guy, went to his house.
Yeah, we were there a couple weeks ago.
You guys got to Bucharest?
Yeah.
Super cool family, cool people there. But to see what happened to him close to home was terrible.
Yeah.
He has cameras in every place in the house. You can see what's happening in real time. If he was a trafficker by chance, you would have seen everything there, plain sight. But you know what? What it ain't show in court or anything like that? Footage.
Yeah,
it's all there.
Girls coming in and out,
evidence,
all that. Yeah.
So to me, it's like this is unfair as men.
Yeah.
What we can go through for that.
I looked into that specific case, and it is wild.
Yeah.
It is absolutely wild. And everyone's sitting here trying to litigate, well, this is what he said 10 years ago, so he should go to prison in Bucharest. And it's like, no, this is absolute madness. I don't care what he said on a podcast 10 years ago, right? This first, just the fact that he had to sit in a prison cell with no charges for as long as he did.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Wild.
Yeah.
Absolutely wild. Like, we're just going to look for something and try to find something. The fact that the girls that were listed in those complaints came.
But that happens in America too, bro. Like, I literally had a cousin who was in jail for robbery, and bro, he stayed in there until they found all the evidence and all that.
Yep. While they build the trial against you.
While they build the trial against you, you're just gonna sit there and wait, no on bond or nothing.
Yep, you got the charges. And they're serious enough.
Admittedly, he came from a decently well-off family who could have got him out on bond, but there was no bond set.
Yep. We're gonna build this case, and then once we got all the evidence and narrative painted how we want to, I guess we'll let you defend yourself at that point.
Yeah. And, well, yeah, you know, he lost that one.
Came out and made article and said this never happened. The fact that they're trying to hunt and sit these women down and say, you know, we just want you to factually say that something happened, and all these women are coming out, and like, I don't know why I'm listed in this suit at all, because it's not true. And then the girl that they used to start the whole thing, people that don't know the story, I covered on my podcast, the fact that she has an entire history.
Yes.
I mean, how many times are you going to believe that this keeps happening to one woman? You know, it's just
Gabby.
it's crazy. You have the worst luck ever. This just keeps happening to you your whole life, right? Like, and that's why you just ask questions, like basic questions. If you're a girl and you say, I was date raped once.
Until one hits.
Literally.
Okay, like, let's look at I was date raped twice. Oh, wait, wouldn't you cover your drinks like that? 5 times, 10 times. It's like, okay, well, you know, I have questions.
Like
and this is a circumstance where this woman, it's just been a lot of men that she has accused, and for the short amount of time that she was there, desperate to go over there. If you looked into the text messages, I mean, allegedly, let us rinse ourselves.
Allegedly,
in the lawsuit free. Allegedly.
Yeah.
Wild.
Yeah.
Wild.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
No, it's crazy. And like, even one of the men that she accused, like, ended up like offing himself because he couldn't like take it anymore. And then another guy's in jail, and it's just like,
see, that's
like, and she's like a known sugar baby, and it's like all this evidence is there, and they're like, oh yeah, blah blah blah. And not to mention that they're not going to come back and testify in Romania. They're fucking long.
Oh, is that
gone.
what they're saying now? They're not coming back to testify?
No, not at all.
Yeah.
Definitely not. Like,
Yeah,
those chicks
crazy.
are like the one chick is here in, I think in Orlando somewhere, and then the other one, I don't know where the fuck she's at, somewhere in London.
Yeah, they went partying.
And they don't know the laws of lying on stand in Romania. They don't want to go back and be caught for perjury.
that shit's crazy.
Now,
You
also
end
mention
up in a
one more person.
Romanian prison.
Oh, God. It's
Free
your
Tory
turn.
Lanez. That's my guy,
crazy.
bro.
I don't know about that.
You don't know about
I
that
don't know
one?
about that, because I looked into that case, and like, that was crazy. That was crazy. And I'm not a Megan Thee Stallion fan, but
At all.
everything leading up to that, like, from trying to pay people off, unless there's something that I missed, and if I did miss it, I will correct the record. But you can't just be shooting people in the feet. Like, you can't, like, I mean, and so what is the conspiracy? They're like, no, her friend shot her in the foot. But the messages that she showed from that night or the night after, and first off, initially they were saying she stepped on glass, which I thought was wild. Like, he was at first saying that she stepped on glass. The doctor, I mean, you can't just make up a surgery. A doctor's not going to say I pulled out bullet from. Like, so, like, the fact that his story changed, right? Like, oh, she's lying, she stepped on glass, like, doing all that stuff. It's like, okay, you wouldn't need to say that if you, like, we're telling the truth from the beginning. Unless there's something I'm missing here. But when I looked into it, it looked like Tory Lanez shot her in the foot.
There is some evidence that the friend could potentially did it because they were fist fighting. There was a argument and all that other stuff, and they were fist fighting.
They were drunk.
Yeah, they were drunk. Everybody was drunk as hell.
Yeah.
What was her name? Kelsey.
Kelsey. Yeah.
Because they were fist fighting on the street.
Maybe she already did came out with it. I think on Dazn or Dazn, whatever it's called.
Cassie?
Yep. She was supposed to.
Well, look, I'm gonna be real with you. I feel like that whole Tory Lanez thing was like a real conspiracy because, like, first off, this girl was supposed to be a rapper, and she turns against an artist that the music industry low-key didn't like. Tory was the one who went to the NFTs and sold this shit and made $1 million in a day.
And everybody knows Megan got a shitty deal.
I promise you, the record label did not like that shit. So I would not be surprised if the music executives low-key plotted on Tory and got his ass locked up, and they just told her, like, look, they gave her the Carisha, the Young Miami deal. Look, man, we'll give you a podcast. Just do what we say. Go ahead. Make him guilty. Megan, we'll boost your numbers. You'll get a podcast. Y'all don't like each other. Y'all can go our separate ways. But guess what? Y'all be making money. All we got to do is send one black man to jail. How about it?
God damn. That's sick. But that's diabolical.
Yeah, but remember, there's a reason why Tory's dad was going like, "Oh, I'm calling out music executives and all this other stuff," because even he knew it was like, bro, this was the music. It was a music industry conspiracy.
We ain't gonna sit here and play like these music industries and these executives of these music industries don't got all the power.
On God, allegedly,
and friends in high places. That's all it takes.
This is just set speculations, just wild speculations.
Because I looked into that case as well, and then the doctor even said before that when she first went to the emergency room that like it did look like she stepped on some glass originally when you look at the first police report.
Yes,
but
police report, but not the doctor. The doctor.
It says in the police report that the doctor said that there were shards of glass, unless they were like he maybe reported wrong. But in that first police report, they did say it.
Oh yeah,
surprisingly.
Okay, but I'm not saying like the doctor say because like he said he pulled bullet fragments out of her foot.
Yeah, the person at the emergency room. I think she went to go see another doctor after the fact. But the first doctor, when they first originally went to, because remember, she told them, I stepped on glass because she was covering for Tory.
She was covering for Tory, yeah.
So the doctor was like, oh, okay, well, it looks like you stepped on glass.
See what I mean by like a conspiracy? Look, she went from covering for Tory to, or the real situation, maybe when Kelsey shot, she went from covering to Kelsey to, oh, let's flip it on Tory. She got some type of call where they said, oh, yeah, we're going to make the bodyguard disappear. It's going to be you and Kelsey against his word. Just say that you shoot him. Your music career is going to blow up just like it is right now. And Kelsey gets a podcast. She going to get the Young Miami deal just like she did right now.
Well, not necessarily her own podcast, but like a tell-all, like an interview of her.
That's all she needs. Nice little 20 bands.
Low key.
Man,
or that might just jumpstart her little podcast and shit.
Yeah, or podcast or her rap. It don't matter.
Something. All she needed to do was show her face and tell her side of the story.
If this girl is popping with a hit song in the next 6 months, we know why.
Oh yeah.
Last two, right? It's emergency doctor.
Yeah, gotcha. So she did tell him. That's right.
She lied at first, and then she said, "I stepped on glass, etc." I think she got reassessed.
Escalated. Come
on
now.
Stand over that bitch. Talk about dance, bitch. And there be and then all glass ain't shattered or something.
I know damn well that shit ain't happening.
Could have shot her, but we don't know. The only people that know
this
really
nigga stood up
that night.
We're speculating.
Bro,
there's a story
against two bitches that's bigger than him. So you told me two bitches that's bigger than him couldn't jump this man? All of a sudden, like, bro, and the crazy thing is, remember, they said he got out, started beating them up, and I'm just like, bro, had a
Nobody
gun.
believes that.
Like, why would you start beating y'all up?
Nobody believes Tory Lanez did all that.
But oh God,
story out there, and then there's the real story. So we'll see what happens.
But
he's Canadian, right?
Yeah.
Yes, and that's another thing too that kind of sucks for him because I
being in Canada,
he's gonna get deported after this, 100%. That's why a lot of people say, why didn't he?
Pull up the Sean Kelly, statement and all that wild shit, like where he said, they were out there fighting.
They could have, but.
It was a quick topic.
Why didn't he just take the plea?
LA County, he would have got the most corrupt fucking county when it comes to policing.
Oh yeah, the same county that covered up the Diddy and his son, shooting and unaliving somebody.
These niggas can be bought just by anybody, pretty much.
If he did that, they would have given him a felony. Maybe he wouldn't have got any jail time.
Damn.
But ICE would have been there and be like, all right, you got to go, buddy. For national.
He got kids, family.
Oh, we actually deport people now?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Color me shocked. I didn't know that we had the potential to do that. Just come right back in over the border, buddy. Just come right back in over the border.
With Biden in office, maybe not. But if it was like for a felony like that and a high profile person, they're gonna remove him. Yeah. Because everyone like, why is he still here? Like that's why.
We got like 30K watching, by the way. Guys, this is amazing. Wow.
Shout out to all y'all.
Follow Candace on her channel as well.
Yes.
Like the
Pop
video.
over right now. No, not right now because you're here. But when you're done, you
open up another tab.
Like on my open up.
Yeah, go support Candace because a lot of people are coming and hating on her right now. Because you guys can see.
Listen,
she speaks facts.
The truth, by the way. No lies told. We got some chats you want to do?
Yeah, I could read some chats real quick. Guys, we're reading only 50 and up, obviously, because we're short on time. We want to make sure that we can get y'all after our shows.
Alrighty.
Fire.
Fire. I ain't gonna lie.
Gotta love it.
That went right into the hour. We don't got time for no closing thoughts. We just gonna time this one out, man. We'll see y'all later. Set and keep, bro.